Here we are, man.
Holy shit, I just realized I don't have a hat on.
Give you that LeBron shot.
I got to see the hair, man. I didn't even realize. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, what am I forgetting here?
Oh, man. Is that the hat that you got from the African spot?
Yeah, another one. The one you got.
Same African spot? Shout out to the African spot, man. That place has been there. Was that on Myrtle and Knickerbocker?
Myrtle and Knickerbocker. Abe, man. I've been going to Abe getting shit for goddamn getting hats from Abe since he opened.
That place has been faithful to its clients since day one. It's good shit.
Since day one, bro. He's been faithful to the hood.
Welcome back to Good Morning Bushwick here on
everyone,
30 Days to
back.
Rock. .us.
We're live. We didn't say that, man. We're live. We're back, and we're live.
Ladies and gentlemen.
There we go.
We didn't do that, man. I think that's the first time in a long time that we haven't done that shit. That's because we know we're going to record podcasts later, so we're already in that podcast mood.
I'm on like 3 hours of sleep. Since Saturday, I think the only day I didn't do anything was Monday. Like,
it's been one of those weekends.
Saturday I was with you. You know, you had the performance to open for you, and then, you know, we had a few drinks after.
I didn't realize how wasted I was till I got home.
Yo,
it was those shots we did at the end.
I actually woke up pretty good. Like, I had a bit of a headache, but it wasn't hangover bad. And that's because that was really good whiskey Danny had, man. Like, that was really good whiskey.
No cheap shit.
No.
And first of all, we got to thank everybody that tuned in this past Saturday to the first pay-per-view performance that we've done, I believe.
Yeah.
And the platform actually worked out, man. I think this is something that's kind of like game-changing for us.
I think for the industry. I think it gives acts. I think it gives venues. I think it gives acts, artists, a different avenue, especially independent artists, independent venues. I think it's a great avenue. Hope
it could even be used for like live webinars too. Like it could be you on a laptop at home explaining something or giving a course or something.
Word, like it's
people don't
great.
realize that shit.
That's it was a great platform. I know my girl watched it. She told me I'm being a little bit hard on myself, but you know I'm my harshest critic. I told you I didn't feel like I did that great. I told you with the way I write my comedy, I learned I need a crowd response to know which thread I want to pull for the way I write it. Because
that's a challenge for any comic, like any profession. Even the basketball players now, they're having a hard time.
There's some of them saying like that even just being in the bubble, not being with their families, how it affects their mental health. So even when you're used to doing things one way, try doing it a different way. Some of them are playing out of their minds in the bubble right now, man. There's guys who are like it's like, yo, where's this dude the last 2.5, 3 years? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who's this guy?
It's turn
like,
time.
Honestly, real talk. If this were baseball, football, these guys would be getting tested for some of these guys. Like, yo, are you using performance-enhancing drugs? Like, how did Nikola Jokic drop all that weight? He was like when he was already like one of the better young players in the league, like, and drop all that weight, bro. And some of these other people and shit. Let me make sure that's on vibrate. Don't want that ringing during the show.
Was that you?
Nah, I just want to make sure it's on vibrate though. And it's just like some of these guys are playing out of their mind. But my girl told me I was a bit harsher than you know. I mean, I'm being a bit harsher on myself. But you know, I do that. I like to judge myself harshly. Be very, you know, realistic with myself.
Yeah, but you saw the extent that I was going in order to try to be able to play the guitar. I put crazy glue on my fingertips. That shit started shredding mid-show. And I'm just like, as much as it comforted my fingertips and not cutting myself because I don't play guitar as often as I used to. I don't have those calluses anymore. It was just the strength of holding the strings down that was cramping my hands up. And there was a few songs that I heard a kink, and I was just like, God damn it. What my brother told me, if they don't know the song, then they're not gonna realize that was a mistake. So I hope that the majority of the people that watched that didn't know the songs.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, you did my girl actually told me, she was like, he has a voice, and she's like, she reminds me of she's told me he reminds me of a guy I used to listen to, and I'd never heard of this artist before, and she played him, and I shit you not, this dude like motherfucker sounds exactly like you. Like I was like, holy shit.
You gotta show me that.
I'll show you that off air, man. Like I was like, holy shit. I don't remember the name of the song. Hopefully she's watching and she'll text me right now.
But I will say that I think I could speak for both of us that having that setup in the back, it's like, you know, that's what 30 Days to Rock is all about. We're trying to like bring people out here so that they could perform in front of the world, man, because that shit, knowing that everyone was watching was, it is one thing to have a venue full of people and shit like that, and that's cool. You mingle with everybody, you have drinks and shit. But when you know that people are just tuned in at home, some people are laying down in bed, people are with their families and shit, just crowded around this screen, that adds a whole nother element, bro. And that shit was really worth it.
Yeah, man. It was fun, and then the phone just went off, and it was a text. I saw the blue light around it. So there you go.
She'll probably text you the name of the artist right now.
Yeah, I did. That's what I said. I'm like, I can't remember. I know the name of the artist. I remember his name. I didn't know the name of the song though. So we definitely have it now. Thank you, dear. That's why you're the bestest. There's no argument going on here.
So we're gonna play a few clips throughout this episode.
While we're here, man. I mean, we're in the cold open, but we're still gonna rock the Wednesdays here. We said we're gonna roll this till the wheels roll off this motherfucker, and we're here rocking with Danny, man, and we're still rocking the 30 Days to Rock initiative, and we're dealing with
part two coming up.
Trying to get donations now, and like I've said every time, the whole cause behind the initiative here for 30 Days to Rock is to help provide rent relief here for First Live Studios here at 219 Central Avenue in Bushwick, Brooklyn, 11221. Shout out to the hood. Love you, Bushwick.
Bushwick.
And
good morning, Bushwick.
Yes, good morning, Bushwick. Here with Bud and Roach.
But something that Danny said right before we went live, he said that initially one of the reasons for doing this was to get musicians out of the house again, back in front of some cameras, some lights, and just bring that feeling of live performing back in a time where all the venues are shut down. And I think this is the perfect place to do it. And we're going to play one of the clips from Rise Up Brooklyn. This is Ajoyo, and it's going to showcase what we got going on back here.
My child, sister, think of rapture, think of us living there. Of loving at will, not to death in the land that is like you. The misty sunlight, cloudy skies for my spirit, charms mystery. Your treacherous eyes, shining bright, brightly blue, that is beauty. It gleams, polished by the years, will form and don't
Fuego, bro.
Yo, that was like,
That
yo,
is
like I could
fuego.
really hear that. That's like, that's some real,
Yeah,
that's some
that
real
is
like
fuego.
festival, like 3-day festival.
I see
different
sea of
stages,
people, bro.
shit, man. Like that's some real, like you're there just in the, like,
I see everybody going like this, just crowd surfing
just vibing it, just feeling it, just what they
Just
say,
sweaty, shirtless
riding the
people.
vibe.
It's like, god damn, man, that shit is not. That shit
But
is
that's
tough.
what we're trying to do here. The whole
shit is
goal
tough.
of and why we showed that clip is and part of the 30 Day to Rock initiative is to keep the vibe alive here at First Live Studios.
And once you walk in, you've never seen a place like this before.
No.
And we've been to a lot of different places, bro. And once you walk in, it gives you that classic venue feel. But then you go in the back, and it's a goddamn television studio.
Yeah, man. It's
like,
even
what the hell?
it's crazy, man. I even got to throw a shout out to my boy Big June, man, because he was telling me, he was asking me, he's like, yo, you still doing the radio thing? He's like, last time I saw you, you was sitting like in a coffee shop, and you was like, you're just like, I was like, yeah, that's like we go live every Wednesday morning. And he's like, I didn't know you did it like that, man. Like, and so again, once again, shout out to my homie, my homie Big June.
Oh man,
I found out Big June. I call him Grandpa June just to mess with him.
this place changed a lot of things for us.
Yo, it changed a lot of things, man. And just, I mean, having Danny come into our life, man, you know, having First Live come into our life, man, was just a perfect pairing at the time, man. And
it took me getting fired from my job and just walking around Bushwick all day with a laptop.
And like I told you guys, it's wild, man, how many times when I was doing my real estate shit, I showed an apartment right across the street, and I would always be looking here, and I would see the light in the window, and I'd be waiting for clients sitting in that window, like, yo, what the fuck is that though, man? Like,
I remember walking by when it like really was just remember the first pictures that they put up? That's how it looked, and I felt like eventually we was gonna end up coming in here, but it just didn't feel like it was the time, and then we had so much other shit going on.
Yeah, we had so much going on, man. But like, I just like think of the time right now, how much we spent. Like, you try to think about like that time in real estate, just up and down when the office was right over here.
We started Roach just a couple
blocks over, bro. We shot a skit right across the street at Caribe, man.
Shout out to Caribe, man.
Yeah, man.
That's where you get the $2 dances.
Fuck around, man. You run out of there and fall on your face on video.
Yo, and we still got the video.
The funniest shit of that is that, yo, people, it's like we all saw it, and it was so funny that it this dude, the JD, turned around and tried to help me, and I'm dying laughing because like my goal, I told you, like I was gonna come out the door last and turn on the jets and come around everybody, and as I got to the outside, I stumbled over my own feet.
And it was caught on camera.
And went down.
And it actually made the final cut.
It made the final cut, and we were all dying. Like, you see everybody who, like, you see this dude running at the end in slow motion laughing at me.
Who was it? JD ran back for you, right?
JD, and now you see me go like this and say, yo, just
as
I'm getting up, tell him to turn around and go.
So since they made the announcement, I guess it's good. I mean, we all made the announcement on social media, so I'll just announce it on the show. It was unclear before, but now it's much more clear. IWW, the wrestling promotion that I have a stake in, Industrial World Wrestling, we actually signed a deal with DOE TV, which is a network on Pluto TV, that app that comes with the Fire Sticks and all that shit.
Yeah, you download an Xbox.
So
they advertise it to me all the goddamn time.
And we're going to be filming from NJTV Studios, New Jersey, and I think it's in Fairfield, New Jersey, on Mondays. And then the airing is going to be a part of an all-Saturday wrestling thing that they do on DOE called Super Kick Saturdays.
That's dope, though. So you guys will be filming every Monday or like every other Monday? So that's dope.
It's going to be grueling to go to Jersey every Monday, but...
How are you? I mean, what part of Jersey and how? I mean, that's
I just got to figure that out.
Scheduling.
This is why I have a Zipcar account now.
Yeah. I mean, how many cars does Zipcar let you? Is it still like only 10 cars a month or some shit or a year? Because I remember before when it first started, it was something wild like that, and people still liked it.
Nah, for me, I mean, I don't rent cars that often, but I haven't seen anything on the back end that shows like a limit. Because they basically charge you the monthly fee, but then you still got to pay for the car.
Yeah.
So I pay like it was like $7 a month to be a member, but then if I get the car all day, it's like $150, and then they'll just deduct it, and then you get like 180 miles or some shit like that.
Damn.
180 miles, and then after that you pay like 40 cents on the mile.
Damn. So
some shit like that.
I mean, I never understood how it worked. I remember a few people that used to use them. I mean, didn't we take a zip car? No, we rented a car when we went to go get your dad an AC before the wedding, right?
We rented a car.
Yeah. We went into the city and rented a car.
And while we're on wrestling, I just want to throw this out there before we play the next clip. Did you hear about Marty Jannetty?
Yo, I saw that.
What is going on, bro?
Yo, what's going on in the world, bro? It's like I made someone disappear after he tried to. I mean, that's some real in the criminal justice system.
Like what? And why post about it?
Why talk about it at this point, man? Like that's what I thought about too. And he's in jail. G-Dep walking into that prison and confessing to that old ass murder.
It's like I think he's done. Like he don't want to be out.
He said too much. I think like the cop, like there's
done.
reports the cop. You said enough that they're investigating.
He's opening an investigation, or they're opening an investigation on him. Like, what the hell?
Like, that's crazy.
For those who don't know, wrestler Marty Jannetty,
most famous for getting super kicked through a window to break up his partnership.
like, if your most memorable moment was being destroyed by a Hall of Famer, who was your tag team partner and claimed to fame to begin with, because who knew about Marty Jannetty before the Rockers?
Who remembers Marty Jannetty other than for the Rockers?
And he appears in like all of these really depressing indie films, and you just see him, trying to sign autographs. He's like Virgil, and he's just, I feel like he's hit rock bottom. So to the point that he went on his Facebook and started confessing that he bodied somebody, and
Like you said, a
posting
bowling
up
alley and
pictures,
this and that. Like, yo, what are
giving
you
up the whole
doing,
goddamn
buddy?
thing.
Like, what's going on here, guy? Like, this isn't a smart decision, Marty.
he took too much medication that night, mixed it with a little wine.
Yeah,
So
but whatever
fuck
it wasn't. But he didn't make a great choice, man.
And to self-incriminate. All right, how many examples are we gonna have of people that incriminate themselves on social media?
I mean, how many? It's crazy, man. Like people that live stream themselves doing dumb shit. Like I actually, while we're on it, did you see the clip of the dude?
Robbing the ATM
No, the shit with Takashi.
when they chased him out the restaurant.
Nah, well that, but not that. But the other dude with the car shit when he was out the car and he had his phone. Like, what do you even expect to happen from that response? From that interchange, I want to know what that gentleman expected to happen. Like, this dude got 8 or 9 dudes. These are big motherfuckers. And one of the, like, a couple of them look like, I'm going to say either off-duty or retired, like, law enforcement.
That's exactly
Like,
who he'll have.
That's exactly, like, right now he has off-duty or retired. Like, I don't even know if I can say off-duty unless it's off-duty federal, because I don't think NYPD would let him do that. And honestly, I'm seeing a lot of people say that those are hip-hop cops, like they're on duty and like an active duty NYPD protection detail or something. Like, I don't
have
know.
a hip-hop division.
The hip-hop, you never heard of the hip-hop cops?
I've heard of, like, there was this one cop that kept speaking to AG. Remember AG from AGTV?
There's the actual hip-hop cops, but they have...
Derek something.
I think they work. I think most of them are like from a gang unit or something, or I think they call it like the something in enterprise division.
I thought that was like just a street term for them. I didn't know they had an actual fucking division.
This is in New York City and some other cities now too, because it's just after. Unfortunately, like I don't know the whole shit behind this, and this is somebody we could probably get on to explain more to us from the industry. But from my understanding of it, it appears that after Big and Pac, and seeing how much that even though it was played behind the scenes and a lot of other shit fueled it, and even they both said a lot of other shit was fueling it, that they realized a lot of other shit was, and it's shit that's involved in the streets. And they realized how close a lot of people from the streets are tied to some of these rappers. After 50 getting shot, how close that was with some of these other things that happened, that they see this. Even the dude, the retired LAPD detective, the dude who retired because he kept getting stonewalled on the Biggie case. And he's the one who found, and sort of ties to this dude, the detective who they based the detective who they based Training Day off of, and the other dude who robbed the bank, and they found the Impala that they say was used in one of their cribs in a garage in a shrine, and it's them, and like they were shook, and he got on like a blood red suit, like it's crazy, and like the LAPD refused to do
nuts.
forensic tests on that car because it's like it would prove it was the car that was used at that crime scene. And they even said the FBI came and was like, yo, if you guys don't have the money to pay for it, this is LA. Even this was when California started having budget problems. And even still, like they didn't let the FBI do it. And they even said like they said if Valletta Wallace or Tupac's mom, Miss Afeni Shakur, were to sue California or like even to sue LA, they would like bankrupt the city. because they could like sue for lost wages, lost future wages as well.
That's crazy.
They said they were bankrupt. Like neither one of them did it.
I think it's crazy that hip hop has come as far as to have its own like police unit. You don't see that in other genres. There's no like country
There's
unit
no
or
country unit. There's
fucking
no rock
pop unit.
division. No pop division. Like,
Maybe if you
but-
go to like Norway or Switzerland, they have like a death metal unit from all those people burning down churches and shit, painting their faces white. You ever seen those death metal bands?
No.
Some shit called Golgoroth. There's a bunch of there's some weird shit going on over there, bro.
Damn, that's crazy.
They look like Sting wanted to look when he returned to WCW. Like what he was going for, that crow shit, they lived that shit.
Damn.
So they paint their faces white with the black drips down. Like the shit is fucking nuts,
I've
bro.
never seen that. Gotta check that out.
But we got to play another clip, man. Rise Up Brooklyn, we want to, congratulate you guys too, because you guys did a hell of a job with everything you
They
did.
did.
at
How
First
many they
Live.
did? Did 7 shows? 7 shows here on the 30 Day to Rock block, man. That's big shit, man.
Raising some nice money to keep this place going, of course.
And they had some really good acts, man. They weren't,
Phenomenal.
fillers.
So
There
this
weren't
is-
any fillers at all.
No.
Like everybody was really good. Like
That's
just
why I think we should start raffling the
a
tickets.
different level of talent. I think to see this stuff live would be a treat. I think that is a great idea.
So this is Sarah Elizabeth Charles.
As sweet as rest when a job's well done. I was born to work up to my grave, but I was not born to be a slave. Papa drove steel and Mama stood guard. I never heard them holler 'cause the work was hard. They were born to work up to their graves, but they were not born to be worked out slaves. One more round, let's heave it down. 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 Brothers and sisters, know daily.
You guys saw it right there, man. Donate at 30 Days to Rock.
That's just that's
us.
another one. That's just
She got a hell of a voice.
that is, bro. Like I mean, I tell people, man. When I tell people like when you should you guys want to go to karaoke, you should sing. Like no, I shouldn't. I just know the words. Like there are people who actually have this talent.
Karaoke for me was just a playground.
Karaoke is just for fun, man. For me, man, it's like I could do the words, do a little dancing.
Back in my single days, I used to go to karaoke just to fish. I just pick the right song, bro, and just wait at the bar.
So what was your right song?
It depended on the crowd, because sometimes if we had like a moderate rock crowd, I'll do some Linkin Park and then hit those Chester screams and just go get another mojito. Just wait at the bar, bro. My God, you sounded great. Like, thank you.
Nah, man, I told you, man. You know my I have some go-tos. I could do some mic, some yay. There were a lot of things, my boys were like, yo, you know the words to this? Do this with me, man. I mean, I just go up there, do a song with some friends. But, the always go-to people, if I walk into any karaoke place, anybody who knows, like, yo, you doing Poison? Gonna do Poison? Doing BBD? Like, come on, man. I honestly don't know, man.
Didn't we do karaoke together at the Queen's Brewery one night?
We did. We were there with we went there with Gates.
Yeah.
I have I'm pretty sure I have the videos from on
Jesus
my
Christ.
Instagram. I did Dre Day. And you was up there doing the ad libs with me.
Oh my God, man. That's how you know I had the 7 pint instead of the 4. And I did some Chris Cornell. I think I did some Audio Slave.
Yeah.
I think Queens of the Stone Age. But when I used to go to Taco Taco, man, is that place still open?
Nah, they're closed.
Taco Taco's basement,
That was the basement. Like it was.
that was the live spot.
No, that was a Lulu Lounge. Was the basement. Taco was the
Or was the
restaurant,
restaurant upstairs. And nobody ever took to that. Everybody just called it Taco Taco.
Yeah, everyone just there. It was like,
Taco Taco.
But they, the owners, man, I actually knew the owners, hung out with them a few times. Like they were good people. I had a good time there through those years. Like that was a fun time. Those were fun years, man. Getting to know the staff. Like I still talk to some of the people that work there. Some of them I consider friends still, like that I talk to online from time to time. I've bumped into a couple of them in the street. It was a really fun time in my life, man. Me and my buddies who went there, like we don't have any bad stories. Usually every story we have starts with, and we were at Taco Taco that night, and it usually starts with, and then it's Taco Taco, and then when we were leaving, when we went to this spot after, when we came there after leaving here, like it was somehow it involves there. There are a couple stories that involve other places, but somehow we have a lot of stories, man. And it's just crazy to think. It's even crazy to think about. We were all together last night at when we were talking at T's while we were playing poker. I was like, yo, like when we were talking about the whole Eminem concert, like yo, like that was 10 years ago. Like that was 10 fucking years ago. It'll be this September coming up next month. 10 years, bro. I was thinking about that the other day.
Bro, you remember a kid that lived on Knickerbocker and he went to 291 with us named Fabian?
I kind of do, but not really. I know the name.
He was in my grade. He was in my class, but he lived right there.
I feel like I remember the name. I need to see the face.
I'm in front of S Street yesterday. And shout out to S Street Media, of course. That's the family
man.
right there.
Sosa and Math, man. Everybody else over
and
there.
They got these 1718 caps in different colors now, so we're going to have that up on sstreetmedia.net pretty soon for sale. But he's giving everybody pounds, and then he sees me, and I see him, and I recognize him, like, immediately. And I'm just like, oh, my God, bro. It's been, like, fucking at least 16, 17 years, bro, since I last saw him.
Damn.
16, 17 years, bro. And that shit blew my mind. Then I go in the bathroom, and I'm washing my hands, I'm washing my face, and I just look at all the white hair on the side of my fucking head. It's like, bro, time is flying right now, bro.
I mean, how it goes, man. Like, but seeing people you haven't seen in a while, man. Like Sunday, man, seeing Big J and fucking Rick, who I haven't seen. I haven't seen Jay and God knows. Like we were sitting there thinking about it. I thought reminiscing about the time when I was like, yo, it was crazy. I was like, the last time I saw you was when I had originally fucked up my back years ago. And I was like, you were driving down Myrtle, and that time I saw you, I was waiting for the bus, and I'm standing there talking to you, and we were holding up traffic, and people getting pissed at us.
Everybody's getting pissed.
And I'm like, what are you gonna do? You gonna hit me? You gonna hit me?
But if people did that to you, you'd be the one that's screaming, bro.
Yeah, like, yo, get the fuck out the street. The fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of here.
The double standard is real across the board, bro.
Everywhere.
But yeah, man, like just thinking about when that first day that we went live together, the fact that we still have that microphone is in my brother's house right now with the first Bud and Roach stickers that we ever printed, bro. It's like, man, time is
the fact that we know the spots where there are still, stickers from that original batch, man. And I mean, it's a reminder, man. Seeing people you haven't seen in a long while, reminiscing with stuff. All your friends, getting married, having kids, everybody buying houses, seeing how far we've all come, bro, is insane, man. Is incredible.
Getting sued and shit.
Getting sued. It's crazy shit to see how far everyone since. I mean, to think back to even when we started this 2012, bro, not even 10 years ago, 8 years ago. Think back to 4 years ago when we started here, like 3 years ago when we started at First Live, how much has changed. And it shows just how fast shit changes. Look at how much change from, the beginning of the year till now. Like, shit could change in an instant.
I saw a meme that said, when the ball drops, everybody has to scream Jumanji instead of Happy New Year so we can get the fuck out of this game, bro.
Nah, that's gonna take us to another level. Like, all right, guys, they really activated this shit. Now let's do it.
Like
nobody
God,
do
bro.
that shit, man. Like I told you, like the ball's gonna drop, and I think it's gonna go to 2020. It's gonna reset. The 2021 is gonna reset. Gonna go to January 1st, 2020, bro. Groundhog year till we get it right.
Which is, it's a good segue as to the importance of spaces like this. I love the fact that we have all the, the majority of the old episodes still archived and shit, and then we got all the new shit archived. because especially now, I think everyone should be documenting their lives. And places like this, if you wrote a song today, like the song that I did, The Light, I wrote that a couple days before, and I was just like, I wanted to play something new. And now I have this recording that for the rest of my life, I could be like, yo, just a couple days after I wrote the song, I played this song on TV and everybody loved it. So now we have that option. Now you have First Live. So we're going to play another clip. Of course, Rise Up Brooklyn presents Joel Ross. What do you think, bro? I was thinking Channel 13.
Like I was thinking a Spike Lee joint.
That
Like
too.
I was thinking, but even not just like that. Like I was really thinking like one of them Spike Lee documentary joints though. Like you know how he shows like he show somebody talking and then you'll have those shots that Spike Lee puts together, like and splice it with something. You'll have like he's a genius at doing that. I saw a Spike Lee documentary joint. That's what I saw there. Spike Lee documentary joint with that playing. That's what I was picturing in my head.
I was picturing at the end of Bob Ross' painting, when they showcase the painting in that solo frame, that's like the credits right there. It's licensing. That's what we need to do, bro.
That was some shit. Like that was something that you could
license that shit to so many different projects.
That was a dope little, that had a dope feel to it.
So now that I've been spending a lot of time getting the paperwork ready for the record label that we just opened, Global Domination Productions LLC, and the primary goal of the label, we're doing only just digital releases. We're not taking any money on performances from the artists. Like this is probably the most fair label deal I've ever seen, and it took a long time to create that shit. But the end game is to license the music to as many fucking projects as possible. Especially now, you got all these damn studios, bro. Do you realize that a couple blocks away from my house, they shoot like 10 Netflix shows inside of a warehouse? And it's right there.
I know. Like all over the city, there's places like who were they just saying? Amazon just brought like a chunk of space somewhere, and then like Google and Facebook also just brought a lot of space. No, was it Amazon? No, Facebook brought that new fuck in the post office, in that old post office building across from the garden that they've been trying to figure out what to do with forever. That they're converting it into office space. Facebook brought that entire lease. Amazon brought like a bunch of space over there. Google recently brought a bunch of space for work over there and shit. And they're saying like that's turning into a tech corridor. You had other companies that like tech companies that a few years ago were like really moving into like down in Long Island City. That's why literally Amazon was really looking at that as a big thing. And I mean, even though that was a sweet deal for them, I don't think people realize how much that hurt the city. And even I could even say right now, you could see with everything going on in the city, the loss of jobs as a result of the Rona, how much having an employer like that around, an employer, even, how you can look at all the unfair, I'm not justifying their track record because they don't have a great track record for treating employees good, but they would have employed how many New Yorkers who right now are unemployed? So, I mean, there's that. Like, everybody, I don't want anybody coming down my throat. Don't say nothing to me on Instagram because I'm going to be really rude to you. But it was a gift and a curse. It was my favorite word, double. It was a double-edged sword. That's my favorite, word when talking about these things, talking about gentrification. It was a double-edged sword, man, and we took only one side of it.
And I feel like the movie business, especially the digital movie business, everybody's home. Like,
Yo,
There's a boom in that shit.
We
Everybody's
watched,
dropping content, bro.
me and my girl.
Adam Sandler's coming out with new fucking movies all the time, and they just
He's
go
on
straight
Netflix.
to Netflix.
He doesn't go
don't no
Uncut
more
Gems
theater
went
releases,
to
none of that
theaters,
shit.
but I mean, this is the last time he had
But
a
that
real
was
theater
only
release.
because he had other star power in there. He's doing like just.
But
his
he
own
actually
shit.
signed a deal with Netflix a little bit ago, and he's like, yo, I like it. I'm just keep releasing movies to Netflix. If they think they're good or bad, I don't have to deal with the box office anymore.
Happy Madison Productions.
Adam Sandler, like his productions, no matter what you think of the quality of his work, Adam Sandler does good for himself. And I mean, it's up to you as on your own. I haven't watched them all recently, but
I love the classic shit.
but a
Billy
lot of people
Madison.
said some of them were really bad, and some people said, a lot of them were like classic Sandler. Like really, like if you liked Adam Sandler, were really good, man.
I even like Little Nicky.
Like Little Nicky was good, bro. Like
Waterboy.
Grown Ups 1 and 2. Like people really dragged him and all of those guys for Grown Ups 1 and 2 and called it a money grab. And I mean, like if you accept it for what it's supposed to be, it wasn't terrible.
If you're in that position, you're gonna be grabbing the money too. Shit.
Like it wasn't terrible. Like I liked them for what they were, man. Grown Ups 1 and 2. I wasn't mad at it.
I just think David Spade is comic relief. I wouldn't consider him a headline guy.
I think David Spade, I mean, he even admitted it, man, how much he stopped
Caring?
not caring, but he lost a little bit of it when Chris Farley
Chris
died.
Farley died. That was his.
He did. That was his partner. That was his. I mean, those guys Sandler works with. That was him and Farley. How many movies did him and Farley do? Like he even said it when he found out how hard he took it. And he only recently finally opened up about it a few years ago. I remember when it was a big deal. Like if he was finally talking about it because it was like him and Farley. Like he took it bad. Like I mean
that's that's the definition of a comedy team. Because he was never the same, and you could see a lot of people that were in those types of situations whenever the thing that happened. And look at Paul Mooney and Richard Pryor. They were like this. Then Richard Pryor's dead, and Paul Mooney's doing small shows. And he's not as funny as he was when he was writing for Pryor.
I mean, Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney has a very distinct comedy style, and to everyone doesn't find Paul Mooney fun. Like Paul Mooney's like I'll say Paul Mooney
More like an activist on stage.
I'll kind of say that, but like it's like the Lewis Black or sometimes like a Haim on. His jokes are serious, and if you actually understand the situation in which a lot of people sometimes do and don't, it's why I was talking. Somebody brought up Words with Friends, and not Words with Friends. I always say that. That's the phone game.
I was about to say
Not Words with
what the
Friends.
hell?
I'm thinking against Cards Against Humanity.
Oh my God.
I fucking hate that game. And I was telling people, it's like, no, it is a juvenile game, and it's only good for toilet humor. Because I told people, like, if you, like, I told people, I was putting great cards together with shit. I was like, none of that plays. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I just started just throwing anything down. Like, it's like, there's no winning. I was like, there's no concise way I can make because I have to play to each person's humor here.
Exactly.
And, like, my humor is wit. Like, I don't find toilet humor fucking funny.
They go
Like
for
toilet humor's fucking.
the low-hanging
very
fruit.
few people can achieve it. South Park, fucking Seth MacFarlane on some of this shit. Family Guy, American Dad have achieved it over the years, but even they had to evolve past it. You know what I'm saying? They had to evolve past that shit because after a while, it's not fucking funny.
Like you said, toilet humor.
And like I was Cards
Just
Against
shit.
Humanity, and like that,
All of those fucking card games, those card
One of
drinking
them-
games.
There's only
I'm over
one.
that shit,
There's
bro.
only one of them that I actually found to be funny, and that's What the Meme. And it's like all the stupid memes that are out, and that's something that I want to answer. Like even what happened with us, where I was like, that should be a thing. Like I said, what I said about what I would say if presented that. But like it's all these memes, which means these had to have been licensed for this game.
Like,
And still, these memes still float around other places. So do you hit these people on copyright charges? Is what I like exact. But that's neither here nor there. But that's the only game because it's a meme, and then you all have cards, and you have to put the caption underneath it. with what you have. And that actually, because of the
copyright
meme,
shit is
gets
crazy,
funny.
bro.
It is.
That shit is. It's
But
built in a way so that people could easily benefit, and as they should, especially if you paid the money for it. Because, like, I went home yesterday and I said, man, when this shit happened in ATL, and the little short film came out, all we did was just give them a slap on the wrist when we were in position to do a lot more than that.
we were.
But that's neither here nor there. I'm glad we didn't do it because who knows where the fuck
Nothing
would
would have came of it. Nothing would have came of it. Stress, undue tensions.
A lot of fucking stress.
Nothing would have came of it. What needed to come of it came from it with that situation with us, with the little movie.
We want to remind you guys again, the initiative here at 30daystorock.us is to raise money to keep First Live and places just like it open, because there's nowhere in the world that you can get this fine quality entertainment like this.
There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing I've seen anywhere quite like First Live Studio. We say it all the time. It's a hidden gem.
So, you guys see the little thing right there? It's a 30daystorock.us. We got another video. Godwin, is that Lewis or Louise?
Lewis.
Godwin Lewis.
We had said that before. Godwin Lewis.
Here with Rise Up Brooklyn Presents. Enjoy.
Yo, that sax player was blowing.
What were you thinking during that?
I was lost in the sound of the sax and them drums. I'm not even gonna lie, and I feel like that would breathe my brothers and sisters. I definitely know it's about the current climate with everything going on. So my mind was just on images of all of that. Honestly, as a black person in today's America,
I saw the last 50 yards that Andy Dufresne had to crawl through that pipe before he was released after he escaped the prison in Shawshank.
I've never seen Shawshank.
You never seen Shawshank Redemption?
Nah, man. Yo, I just saw The Shining for the first time like a couple weeks ago.
I can't believe you just said that, bro.
I've never seen Shawshank.
Oh, Danny, have you seen Shawshank? Bro.
I know it's a Stephen King movie, and I know who's Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins, right?
Yes.
I mean, I know it's supposed to be a great movie, but I've never seen it. But
you have to.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to. But I mean, like I said, nah, it's not. But like I just said, I just for the first time saw, The Shining a few weeks ago,
Jesus,
and
that's
like that's another movie that's more of a thriller than a scary movie. Like it wasn't like that wildly
it's
like scary to me, but the camera work in that movie made that movie so tense, bro.
You got to think about the time that it came out too.
That's also part of the thing too. I know
at the time that shit was revolutionary. Like,
that was, but yo, that
when
scene,
the blood goes down the hallway, shit.
That scene.
When I first saw that, I was like, I ain't watching the rest of it.
But when he's riding the big wheel, the tricycle through the halls, when that camera's just following him, and the fact that I'll say that the camera work in that scene was so like crazy, like because every time he turned the corner, I'm like, all right, what the fuck is gonna be here? Is it gonna be these little twins again? What the fuck's gonna be? And every time he turned, I'm like, they're gonna be behind this corner, they're gonna be behind that corner, not this corner, and then it cuts away from him and his mom's. They'll be behind this corner. Nope. like it's sitting there, like it's just gearing you up. That like working that scene and hearing those wheels rolling, and just like the kid, like how tense they made that scene play, like was crazy for me. Like that scene.
I saw this thing. I think it's on Netflix. That it's like a documentary about all the bad shit that was going on at the set of like all these horror movies back in the day, like The Exorcist and Poltergeist and all that shit.
Like somebody actually died on the set of
like that
Exorcist,
shit.
Right? Somebody actually fell down their stairs and broke
That
the
shit
stairs
is
that in the movie.
creepy,
The guy
bro.
falls down. Somebody actually fell down the stairs and broke their neck in that movie, I believe, or filming.
They better watch
Like,
what they do, man. They probably got the Ouija board in the trailer.
They don't know, man.
Shit.
I mean, I don't know, man.
That's
you know,
one thing
I don't
that,
know, man. I like to watch the movies about that shit. I like to read Reddit threads about it, some YouTube videos. I don't want any hand-on experience. That's as far as I want to get. I want to be a YouTube professional. I want YouTube knowledge on it. That's it. I want to be one of those. You know what? I learned it all on YouTube. Types.
Why did I always need hand-on experience to learn?
Because honestly, like you have to learn from experience sometimes. Like I've learned that with you. Like you just like I'm gonna give it a shot. Like you like I don't know. Like let's give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot. See how it goes. Nah, it wasn't for me. Like you have to like for me. Like I'm like, nah. I immediately know that ain't gonna work for me.
You're a
like,
special guy, bro.
I give it a shot. Let's see what's up. You know.
I'll try anything once.
I know.
But when it comes to the occult, then shit, tread lightly. 'Cause last time I did that,
I will never deal with
did not
the
work out
occult,
well.
man, other than movies. And honestly, I think it's the same. I think it's the same theory as my dad, man. I just feel as long as this is as far as I'm willing to foray into this territory
God.
and not go further. Like I don't want to get lost in the mist or go into the forest of it. Like I won't have to deal with that. Like,
what was it that you saw? The guy with his hand covering his face? Was
Nah,
that-
just the black figure with
black
fucking
figure.
red eyes. Like how the way I described it was darker than the dark.
I think Cheese saw somebody covering their face like that in the corner.
Like nope.
Fucked up shit out there, bro.
Like even I ain't gonna front, man. I had a fucked up feeling, man, 'cause last night when I went home, but I know it was cause I've been drinking a bit, so that's why I was ignoring it.
That's
but
why
like
they call it spirits, though.
I felt like that darkness in the dark was I mean, you know what I mean, because you know when your eyes adjust to the dark, you can see in it sometimes, and I know what my room looks like in the dark. And last night, my room felt like there was just a spot where I saw my eyes, and I looked back again, and I was like, "Fuck this." I pulled the sheet over. Like I was sweating in sleep last night. I woke up sweating because I had a sheet and this humidity pulled over me. And like
Why do we think that the sheet is gonna do anything?
so it's mental.
That's like
Just it's like why as kids
closing your eyes.
close your eyes really tight, count to 10, close your eyes, have some mantra in your head, like it's not real, this isn't happening, this isn't real. Like do some little count, like whatever they do, or even how they tell people sometimes to deal with anxiety issues. And it's just, it's all in your head. And
You know,
if
it's
you
funny
deal with
that
it.
there was a teacher in 291, and it's funny that I saw Fabian yesterday because he's who I used to sit next to in this class. I think it was like video editing 101 or some shit like that, but we didn't really have computers. It was just teaching us the basics on how to watch movies. And they rolled in The Sixth Sense. Mind you, this is 7th grade, so I don't even know if I'm allowed to watch this at home yet. And then in those few scenes where the kid was like locked in closets and seeing dead people for real, or he was in his house and he saw the lady screaming in his face, I'm looking around the room and there's a lot of kids there that didn't have to deal with shit like that either through sheer ignorance of just ignoring everything that's around them, or they just wasn't surrounded by that shit. I could not watch that movie again after that, bro.
No?
Because
I mean, I think that's a great movie, but even
going back to the house and having to deal
with what you dealt with. I mean, I told you, we were talking about it on air. I said one of the last times we went there. There were even times when it'd be just me and you. Like I come by in the afternoon, you showing me some new music or showing me a game, and it's just us. Like your mom stepped out, and it's like right after school, and just even the vibe sometimes, like in broad daylight, all that sunlight shining in, because your mom kept the windows, the shades open, and it was sunny in your apartment, and even then. Like still, it would be like Nigga, like I feel like something was in there with us.
My mom would walk into the apartment and say, something's here. She'll just say that. And it will be my brother brought some shit that he found in the street, or Jose picked up a necklace that he found in the street or some shit like that. And it'll be some small little thing that she feels an energy attached to that shit. She was like, you gotta get rid of that.
There's people who have hypersensitivities, man, and like, yo, I don't know if I just get like you know, and they say people know when they could feel it, and even like thinking about The Shining, like where like when he's the doc, like the cook is talking to the kid, and he's like, you know, me and my grandma had it. He's like, how I could like he said it, we was talking telepathically. That's how I knew his name was Doc, and he's telling the kid how I knew his name was Doc, and like the way they describe The Shining, man, whatever that is, I kind of think your mom has it. I think she has The Shining, and I think I don't want to say The Shining, but something along that. Cause your mom is spot on a lot of shit, B. On a lot of fucking shit, your mom.
I know.
Yo, like, yeah, you, like I know you ain't about to feel she was overbearing sometimes, but yo, your mom was spot on a lot of shit that went on in that building, on that block in our lives.
I know. Bro, I remember one day we was coming home from Kingdom Hall, and they was doing the seance in front of the building. You remember that shit?
Nah, you told me about it. I don't
Ooh,
remember
when I saw that shit, mind you, they was doing this shit on the sidewalk. Burning wood on the sidewalk, bro. Some lady was barking, bro, barking on all fours, running around on all fours, barking, bro. Dude had a Moses stick. That shit was like 10 feet tall. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you doing this shit right in front of the projects. Imagine what y'all do in the woods. If you doing this right in front of the projects. And my mom, as soon as she saw that, I looked at her arm and it was just goosebumps. She was like, oh my God, we gotta go. Go upstairs, start cleaning everything. She never like burned sage or anything like that. But she has that shit, bro.
And yo, like,
she has that shit.
I trust, like, yeah, I trust your mom's gut feeling. Like if I would've,
and it's because of where she came from,
what she went through.
And in Puerto Rico, my grandfather, rest in peace, I never met him, but he was like the biggest Satanist in Puerto Rico, bro. And he has land. Well, he had land, all that land that the houses are built on. So you got a hill, a couple houses, another hill, and then it's just trees. If you go through that forest, you end up in another town. So that's a long strip. Come on, you're doing seances right in front of the trees, telling Satan to come out of the forest and face you. You think shit ain't gonna go down?
Nah, man.
Even my aunt that passed away, she gave us a bunch of clothes. As soon as the clothes got to the house, my mom started like freaking out. She felt too much shit. She had to find every piece of clothing that came from my aunt and get rid of that shit.
That's
another one.
Even think about that she could feel that from a piece of clothing owned by someone else. It's crazy, man. And people think these things aren't real, man. And people laugh and joke at these things and
it's like the
make fun of people.
It's like a whole crux.
It is. You know what's crazy? I'm shocked you just said that. I'm shocked. Yo, your wife's gonna be amazed when you get home. Like tonight is gonna be amazing for you, buddy.
I got that. I got all of my Harry Potter knowledge from her.
That was just like.
But that
exactly was like scoring tickets to a world-renowned show that was sold out, and this is the last performance, bro. You got front row tickets at the last minute.
Oh man!
Surprise, surprise, man! Like that is some shit. Like, man.
All right, let's lighten up the mood a little bit with another performance. We got Jonathan Blake, of course. Rise Up Brooklyn presents. Enjoy. You guys see it right there. Donate now at 30daystorock.us.
That was what you picture in your head on that one? You go first here.
Meeting Johnny G in a New Orleans bar for a drink.
I pictured like this TV show again, but I pictured like one of these like TV show comedies that you know how when someone has to rush doing something and they're behind the clock and they show them like that's what I pictured with that.
The time lapse of them getting dressed, and just
rushing around the city trying to get to the train, running running to coffee or some shit. I saw that. That's what I saw with that.
They have to be in a building with a doorman. Because as they're running out sipping the coffee, the doorman has to open the door for them. That's the vibe that I get. That's not like a poor song. That's like Upper West Side condo. You're late for your Midtown meeting.
Drinking
Starbucks. That's homemade.
Let's say that's any gentrified New York building at this point. Any neighborhood that's been gentrified in New York City at this point, you could get that vibe, or someone to go rushing out like that.
See, now imagine if we, within the confines of social distancing protocol and all that shit, raffled off a couple of tickets so that people could come in and actually watch these acts personally. And it's a raffle, so everybody has to buy a ticket. Then on the show, we'll just be like, all right, this is who won.
You won tickets
we'll call
to,
you.
And, tickets to this performance, tickets to that performance. You get to choose which performance, and it's a little more for the raffle slot, You pick which show you want to come to.
We just throwing out ideas.
It's the way my mind works, man. Nobody go taking these ideas. They're copywritten.
Does this qualify us as a copyright? So as soon as we get off the air,
you have to put in a copyright claim to own a copyright. Right, Danny? You have to put in a copyright claim, correct?
That's what it is.
So it's almost like a trademark claim.
That's how they got us.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, bro. We got to do that shit this week.
Yeah, I know.
So it's been a grim week for me.
Thank God they've kind of started getting their shit together on this. We're going to get this federal aid back.
Oh, yeah. Because they stopped. I told you last week was but not this week.
I didn't even check yet, man.
When I checked, I was just like,
did you check?
Oh,
did you get like the extra $4 or no?
No.
So I don't even understand what's up with that. Like he signed it, so we gonna get it, or like what's gonna happen with that? Like I'm looking right now, and even still, like where it's like available days, claimable days remaining. Like y'all said, y'all extended this for people like myself who like I'm done till next year. Like, and I'm looking like this. Like I don't quite understand this, and you can't call to get like question it to get answers.
It almost seems like a day-to-day process.
It does, bro.
It's like every day we just gotta wake up and hope.
And hope, man. But like I know I'm not going back to work till next year. Like I gladly. Like I said this whole time.
The whole theater industry got fucking hammered.
Everyone.
Bro.
It's not just people like me, bro. Like when we had Tensty and Renee on that day.
They wardrobe, right?
And that's
from
like
all aspects.
Oh man, you're talking about music. You're talking about engineers. You're talking about the stagehands. Like you're talking about
like last year, me and Danny was doing like outdoor festival sound and people getting together.
There's a big
Jesus
chunk
Christ,
of
bro.
industry that's hurting, and I don't think politicians. I don't think anyone's paying attention. I mean, they talked about how bad GDP is going down in the U.S. already. They keep saying how many more millions of Americans filing unemployment claims. And even still, I don't think people are paying attention to the gravity of this situation and quite how many people who fuel this economy aren't being able to contribute money because they aren't making money. And how this is hurting. Even like we're talking about the industry I work in. But then you think about like the service industry, bro, hotels and restaurants, fucking venues like this. This we considered like hospitality and service industry.
Remember when this place was packed?
Fucking all the way live, bro. Any live thing that was going on here, and now think of that. All those places, man, that have closed, and the people involved in those places now. Landlords want money because banks want money. Like I feel the greed is rolling down. If weren't asking landlords for money, landlords wouldn't be asking tenants for money. But the fact of the matter remains that, all right, guys, don't pay us for these 4 or 5 months. But on that 5th month, we need it all. Figure it out. Like, that's like, yo, come on, man. Like, just
That's crazy.
that's like it's
That is
essentially
greed at its
that's
best.
worse than going to a motherfucking loan shark.
Seriously.
That's worse than going to a loan shark at that point. And people just, I mean,
What do you think of Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
I think progressives are gonna. I think progressives and left-leaning, Democrats are gonna love her because she was obviously the nominee. She's a woman. She's a black woman with everything going on. I wasn't a fan of her as president, as a nominee running for president. I think people, especially black people that know her track record on crime, are gonna have a hard time. She's gonna have a hard time winning black people over because she didn't do great with blacks. I think some more conservative whites that don't really know her she might have a hard time winning over. I honestly don't know if it was a great VP pick, man. And we were talking about it last night, man. And I've said it. I feel like everything. I feel like this man's, like I said, every year been the guy who's like, man, please fire me. Like every time people talk about me and get all worked up, and I tell them, listen, my best way to describe the way I look at him, and I was like, everyone's worked with this person, this type of employee at a place of, employment. Mm-hmm. And it's the person who doesn't want the job, pretends to like the job, but does nothing right. And it's almost like they're like, please, can you guys fire me? I kind of want unemployment. And the job just keeps giving them more hours, giving them promotion. You know what I'm saying? You've worked with these type of people.
Oh, yeah.
And
we know those.
Sometimes I look at him and it's like, bro, like, are we all watching the same thing? Like some of the stuff he's done. Like, it's just like either his brain not working right or our brain ain't. But that's what I tell people. And,
I'm not as well versed in politics as you are because you're much more well read than I am. You actually read the news and all that shit. But I can tell people's emotions by the shit that they post on Facebook. And a lot of the Democrats, after she was announced as the VP pick, were saying that Trump is going to win. And it was almost like they just, white flag is up.
I don't know,
and
man.
I don't know if that's
neither
good
of
or
these men
bad.
have gotten together for a debate as of yet.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Nothing's really happened. We have so much. There's so many questions still. And like I said, this is 2020, and this was supposed to be the big issue this year. What's going on, sir? Welcome. Good.
How you doing, brother?
And that was the big thing that was supposed to be here for 2020, and like we're not there yet. We are not there yet. And look at how tumultuous of a year this has been. And I keep telling people, if there's any type of close vote that comes down to a point, and I'm going to say this, and we may, once again, we may see him lose I believe he's likely going to lose the popular vote and win the Electoral College again. And, I tell people, I'm afraid for a popular vote in this country, man. I'm really afraid. But, I don't know what you do about it. Because the Electoral College clearly won't be it, but...
What do you do about any of it? Like, how much control do you think we really have?
I don't know if we did have any. A lot of the stuff people wanted would be listened to, man. But, some of the stuff people want might be our own cause of our own destruction, so I don't know.
Like, there's things... Like, I've wanted to stop smoking cigarettes for years. But then I just keep smoking. And I want that. And you know what? I don't have control over that. Like there's certain impulses that's just, I do this all the time. And if I don't have a real cigarette, I'll buy a fake cigarette. If I don't have a fake cigarette, I'll roll a blunt. But there's always this action right here. People want to change the world, but they can't even stop themselves from doing this. Like I know that I just have to work on me now, bro. Me and my family, that's it. Because the world, regardless of what I do, is beyond my control, bro.
The world is circling the drain, man. I don't want to say the world. I'll say the United States, man. The United States.
But you know how much fucking footage I've seen of that Beirut shit? Somebody took it in 4K, slowed it down. Like, imagine that shit happened in fucking Queens or in Williamsburg.
But just think of what I told you, bro. Like, that was... like they said 2,000 some odd tons. That's fucking
Insane.
1,000 times the amount of what happened, like I said, in Oklahoma
insane,
City.
bro.
And me, like I said, me and my dad were talking about it, and we both said the same thing. That's what I told him. I told you, was thinking, like, remember OKC? Oklahoma, the Oklahoma City bombing. I was like, nah,
So,
that
OKC.
was, yeah. I mean, Oklahoma. I'm thinking of the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it's just, that was similar to the type of explosion that happened there, and that ripped that building in half. Look at the crater from those satellite photos it shows into the ground from that blast.
You know how many people were getting married that day? That the whole goddamn church windows, everything.
People that were just, people that are around just going about the day, like, whoa, this is fucking crazy, and we're by there. The guy on the boat, there was a guy on the street over by there, and you see his phone get blown out his hand. And people, I mean, just people, yo, that a nuke just went off. They line up, yeah. Like, I don't think you guys know what ammonium nitrate could do. And I understand, but that was no nuclear like device. People thinking that, who think they, I mean, it was crazy. And I mean, look at the immediate response. Everyone, almost the entire Lebanese government, all of them, like the people were in the streets resoundingly like, yo, we're tired of it. They've all resigned. And I think even like the head prime minister has given his resignation and told everyone else to resign.
Oh, man. Well, our in-studio guest has arrived. We're going to play a music clip. This is Camille Thurman. Of course, Rise of Brooklyn presents, and we'll be back with more Good Morning Bushwick.
Away from all this pain, find a place that's safe to be, just to sit in silence, find a way to take my time, purify my soul and mind, get away and find my peace, so I can be free in love, peace, inner peace, inner peace, a place where I can find myself and be free. Ooh, find some time to search my mind, hear my soul and heart inside, leave my worries all behind, find the light within that shines, taking claim of what's for me, no more trying to let it be, searching for my destiny, getting to know my inner peace.
You guys see it there. Donate now at 30daystoRock.us. And of course, we're back
here on
Good Morning Bushwick with Rahman Mama.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going, brother?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. We are doing
all right.
good, man. I'm shocked I'm up and functioning right now. When I woke up, like, I did not want to get out of bed. Like, I'm on like 3.5 hours of sleep from last night. Like,
How did you sleep last night?
I slept well. I mean, I fell asleep at like 10:30, probably later than that, but I woke up at 6:30 today, so I'm a little bit tired.
nah, like, yeah, and yesterday too, man. Like, I don't know. Like, it was an extraordinarily asshole move. Someone set off some sort of pyrotechnic device that, like, I mean, they were already out on the block. Like, you could hear the construction people out there. It was like 7 in the morning. They were already starting moving shit, and you just hear it, boom. And it echoed on the block, bro. It wasn't like they dropped something. There was somebody lit a fucking cherry bomb or something. It's like, yo, bro, like, we've dealt with it all these other times, but at this time, that shit woke me up, and I was up the rest of the day. I was like, yo, like, it takes a phenomenal type of asshole to do something at that time of the morning.
Phenomenal ass. So I feel like there are less fireworks now, though, than there were in the beginning of the
And
summer.
listen, I'm happy that it's
everyone's
like that.
exhausted their
I'm
supplies.
fucking thrilled because that shit is annoying,
Everyone
bro.
ran through it, and I mean, there's still some people who have some. We've still been hearing some, but it hasn't been as bad as it was for those few weeks, man.
Do they still do the 7 o'clock appreciation that everybody starts clapping for the essential workers and shit?
Dude, we discussed this. I never once witnessed that here, except for that one day when it was supposed to happen. That one day when it was like, yo, for today, let's everyone clap it up. When are they still doing it by US 7 every day?
I haven't, like...
You haven't heard it?
I haven't heard
Like,
it.
if they've stopped it, like, listen, guys, stage 4, we're done. We're not clapping for you anymore.
It's like-
We're not clapping for you anymore. It's fucking
How
stage
long
4.
we gonna fucking keep
All right,
clapping
we
this
clap for you. You were like, I mean, Like I told him when I was over there, like it started happening. Like, yo, what the fuck is that? He's like, yo, they do it every day. I was like, what? I was like, wait, are people really clapping? But we made fun of someone who we went to school with who would get on live every day and have his.
Oh my God.
Clink, 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 clink. Like,
That's just clout chasing at its finest.
Yeah.
oh man, we were talking about that fucking clown couch chasing. I don't even want to deal with. I don't even want to discuss that live on air.
Yeah, we don't talk about cloud chasing.
I'm gonna get upset.
So
I'm gonna get visibly upset if I discuss that on air.
So I have a question.
What's
Are
up?
you from Brooklyn?
No, I'm not from Brooklyn, sadly.
Where you from?
My parents are from Benin in West Africa. I grew up in Connecticut.
Shit.
What part of Connecticut?
You know where Yukon is? Huskies?
Where are they? They're not in. I mean, I know where the Huskies play. I know they're not in Hartford. Are they in Hartford?
They have
They have
the
like
XL
facilities
Center.
in Hartford, right?
Yeah, you know it. But they're like in Mansfield, Connecticut, so that's where I grew up.
So what do you think it means to be Brooklyn famous?
To be Brooklyn famous, I mean, you guys are all Brooklyn famous. Danny's Brooklyn famous. Bud and Roach are Brooklyn famous. But
I don't know if-
so you guys tell me.
I want to be Brooklyn famous. I don't think we're there yet. I think we're working our way up there, man. But
Y'all are at the top of that list. If like Bushwick, you guys are like top 3 in Bushwick, Brooklyn
nah.
famous. Nah.
Maybe top. I definitely put some top 20 category, but I don't know about top 3. I think we're moving up.
We're getting there.
But I think because
We'll
of,
get there.
I think the fact that, I mean, with Bushwick natives help us. We're actually from here. I think a lot of people and the light that's come on Bushwick has come from outside sources and people who they didn't live here, didn't know what it was like here prior to, you know, it becoming a nice, fancy, glowing place. And I think it's crazy now with the Citizen app, bro, reading through the comics, the comments when shit's
I'm
going
about to
on.
uninstall
And
that
people are there like, yo, old Bushwick coming back. And people like this, what does it mean, old Bushwick? Stabbings and robbings every day and being scared for your lives and shootings and such and whatnots. And it's
Yeah.
like, you've only lived here a couple months. You definitely didn't see anyone letting off a Uzi when you were 7 from behind a car.
Oh yeah, I have like one friend who was here back in like 1980, and every time I see him, they're like,
Yo.
"Yeah, it's different. It's not the same."
It's not, yo, like people even like my mom is like, yo, is it getting bad around here again? I'm like, it's getting bad around the whole fucking country. It's not here. It's not concentrated to here. And I told her,
As long
we're
as the
seeing it,
bombs don't
and
drop.
I was like, we're seeing it because we have this app now. Like, it's not concentrated really around the house. There are other places that were bad before that you have people that are being knuckleheads again.
But the Citizen app changed the game because now
Unless you know what's happening
GPS
where.
location, somebody just got stabbed down the block. There's a house fire 3 blocks down, and people like it's like clout chasing on Citizen app because you want to be the first one there, and you go and start streaming so that everybody will like your profile.
Yeah.
Yo, like we
That shit is
got
crazy.
we got a report of like last, I wanted to say this day we were all in the house, say maybe Thursday or Friday, somebody got poked and there was a fight. And somebody was live. It said somebody was live. And I'm watching it. The boys is there. Like, we're watching the person get arrested. Like, the ambulance working on somebody. Like it's like they said the person got stabbed in the hand or their arm or some shit. Cops arrest. And this motherfucker standing there. And you see the white, you see the cop white shirt. You see all the other cops around, man. And the dude's like, "What you talking about assault? Who assault?" It's like, yo, bro, just shut up. Like someone tell this guy and someone tell this motherfucker stop filming.
Yeah.
Like.
You live in this neighborhood now?
Yeah, I live really close to here. I live in Bushwick. Bushwick's a great place.
How long you been here?
I got here. It hasn't even been a year. I got here September 1st of 2019.
Oh man,
So you're relatively new to Bushwick.
Yeah.
How long have you been in Brooklyn, or did you just move to Brooklyn when you moved to Bushwick?
But I lived in Brooklyn in like 2017. I was actually in Bed-Stuy off of like Ralph Avenue.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you definitely know what Brooklyn. You know what that area still has the Brooklyn feel,
Oh yeah.
shit.
like that.
I
old
still have
school
stories from
Brooklyn feel.
Ralph Avenue when I was at Frito-Lay, but that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, Bed-Stuy, do or die, right?
Yeah, man. Bed-Stuy is still a neighborhood.
So how many bars have you been to out here?
I'm cheap, so
everything.
this is the bar that I come to.
He gets his drinks here at 219 Central Avenue.
Absolutely, this is the place to be because I get to kill like 3 birds with one stone: make music, hang out, and drink as well. But
yeah, man, it's a great place.
This place is a unicorn.
Like we've had some, even still, man. I haven't been out to any of these guys now that they're all reopened. I'm going to any of these. Like I walked past them. Like I was thinking, like we need to one day maybe go to Queensbury and like one day go to Pine Box and just have a beer or two.
I was at Queen's Brewery a couple weeks ago. They got the outside seating and all that, and you can still go inside to use the bathroom.
Yeah, still
and all that
everybody
shit.
going, so you just got to put a mask on if you go inside.
But we got to give you the tour of the Bushwick bars. Because I think I know I personally hit damn near every bar in this goddamn
I think you've hit
neighborhood.
every bar, man. I'd say predominantly, and even the ones I went to were mainly Pine Box, Lantern Hall, and when I was at
Rest in
MySpace
peace,
Central
Lantern
Station
Hall.
with them.
What do you guys think about Mood Ring?
Mood Ring? I've never been there. What's that?
Apparently, it's like a super trendy spot off Myrtle. You've probably heard of it.
Let's see.
Off Myrtle and what?
Myrtle
And Wyckoff?
Yeah, I think so. No, it's like down that
Right here.
direction.
Like, I think I know where you're talking about.
It's like right
Oh, it's
next
by
to
Myrtle
the
and
Central
Broadway.
stop. Yeah, no, it's like Myrtle and
Nah,
Broadway is
it's-
too far. It's closer to Myrtle Central.
Nah, it's like right over here, bro. It's like literally over here.
Yeah,
Like,
apparently.
I feel like it's you know where it is? Right there where Barcelona used to be.
Moodering is Brooklyn famous.
Like that.
That's
when you
Brooklyn
come
famous.
Yeah.
right there. I don't know if it's where Barcelona was, but where you guys over there on Hart, that spot, it's either over there under the train,
So we probably
or that spot
ordered
used to always be
from
right
there.
there.
We probably ordered from there when we lived on Hart Street. Because that was within our Chinese food jurisdiction, I guess. It's within the borders of the delivery zone. But there's a bunch of spots. Tony's Pizzeria. Have you been to Tony's Pizzeria
Oh
yet?
yeah, one time.
Come on. Oh, you talking about the one on DeKalb or the one by Myrtle and Knickerbocker?
Pretty sure it's the one on DeKalb.
We have to teach you something.
We have to teach you, bro.
Yeah.
Now, there's been a long held debate in Bushwick. Even I ask people, and like they tell me, nah, the one on DeKalb. I'm like, yo, listen, need to school you to some shit, because I remember the one on DeKalb, and I tell you because my mom worked there, but they never delivered. So anytime we got delivery, it was always from Sal.
It's not bad.
It's not. It's just not the same. It's not like, yo, it's better than Dollar Pizza. It's better than a lot of these other pizzerias who've popped up and people love in the neighborhood. But for us, Tony's Pizza is the one on Myrtle and not even, it's Knickerbocker and Green.
Yeah, it's made with love.
You've been to Joe's Pizza in Williamsburg, like North Williamsburg?
I've been to Joe's.
Yeah.
Joe's, I know, like the Joe, is it the same Joe's company that has one on 44th Street?
I think they might, but it's
Yo, like there used to always be a line outside this place. Like we would have to, when we were working, when we were starting up the show, I don't want to say what show, but when we were starting up, like that line would be coming and we would have to like try to figure out who's where. And we have to tell them, yo, guys, we're putting these barricades, you can't stand, I gotta move. And you can't like stand this way and block this because this, we can't allow that. So you guys figure that out. Go that way.
There's this one pizzeria. It's not regular pizza though. Like people go there and they eat this fucking pizza with a knife and fork, bro. It's brick oven pizza. It's like world famous, definitely Brooklyn famous. It's called Grimaldi's.
Grimaldi's.
And bro, every time I went there, there's at least a 40-minute wait. As soon as you go inside, you see nothing but pictures of celebrities sitting there. You got goddamn Steven Seagal and Van Damme and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's like Joe's Pizza. They
Yeah.
have like
It's like,
Leonardo
holy
DiCaprio.
shit.
They have
There's some
everybody.
places that are like phenomenal, but when it comes to for Bushwick, we talk about Tony's
man.
Pizzeria on
The real Tonys.
the real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
So what kind of music do you do?
So right now I'm in a phase where I'm just making some like experimental lo-fi beats. You know what I'm saying? Like R&B type of stuff. Yeah, it's cool to explore these different aspects. I think like back in the day when I first started doing mixtapes, it was like, 48 bars, no hook, just like rapping on beats that I'd find on the internet. But now I'm finally like in a phase where I'm like producing my own stuff.
That's how it needs to be, bro. You got to build the levels to your creativity.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I like to do is I like to do at least one thing every day creatively. It could be something that sucks, something that I never use, but at least I did something so that tomorrow when I wake up, I got a whole new idea. I'm not still thinking about this bullshit that I did yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's important. Like with music, there's just like infinite ways to be creative, just like calling in different scales and using like different synthesizers and everything. So it's just about challenging yourself every day. And this is a great place to do it. I mean, we brought in some of the most incredible musical acts to this space. So just being able to watch them has been a huge part in like just learning about music.
You said the phrase back in the day. Can we ask how old you are?
I'm young. I'm younger than 25. I'm older than 19.
Jesus, bro. You just made me feel old.
So I mean, this is one that you had. So you fall into this. What the fuck is wrong with your generation? Because I'm gonna say you're part of the problem. In that age group, I'm sorry, We fall into millennial. Like, we fall into millennials, and a lot of people call the generation behind us millennials, which they're not. I don't know what they... I call them the iPhone generation behind us. I don't know what they actually call things like Generation X or some shit.
Generation I.
Yeah.
But I call them the iPhone generation. Well, like, I mean...
I thought I was a millennial for a long time. I thought I was one of y'all, but apparently I'm Gen Z. And I mean, like, the real answer is I just feel like we grew up in this generation where we had too much information, didn't know how to process it. So I think that got in the way of how we like interact with people, how we form relationships, how we like just go about the world around us. I think a lot of people who are less conscious have the disadvantage of just like going through this world numb, kind of, in my generation. That's a deep answer.
Yeah,
That was. I don't think anybody like in your age group, I don't know your exact age, but anyone in your age group would give an answer like that deep. I see a lot of younger people try to share, you know, we lived through 9/11, we saw this, we saw that, endless war. Like, yo, we lived through 9/11. You guys were kids. You didn't like witness it the same way. You didn't have, well, you maybe had, but I had a family member go off to that shit in the beginning, off to Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Wow.
You know, I knew people out there who were gone, Afghanistan. So like that shit hit different. When I see people talk about stuff like that, you know, the bubble crash, the market crash, the people who have college loan debt, the housing market crash, you guys witnessed it a different way from us, and I think it's cool to be able to have that perspective, but I don't think some people are old enough to understand it. Like, I didn't understand everything I know about Vietnam until recently. I didn't understand everything about the Gulf War until I was older.
You know, but honestly, when 9/11 happened, we saw it happening, but we didn't even understand what the hell was happening, because it was, you know, hindsight is 20/20. So it was like all these years later, we could look back and be like, all right, this, and this happened, and this is how we felt about it at the time. But at the time that it was happening, I remember standing on the roof of the building, and I'm just looking up at the fucking black cloud that's making its way over to our neighborhood. I'm just like, holy shit, the fucking end of the world is coming.
I think one of the most vivid memories for me on 9/11, aside from seeing the explosion of the second plane hit and both towers drop, like I tell people, I didn't see both towers drop on TV. I saw both towers drop from the fucking 5th floor stairwell of Bushwick High School.
Wow.
You know, look at that side on the library side. I could never get it right, building way, getting north, east, west, south. But facing that way, I want to guess I'd be looking west, because that'd be, if I was standing in the city, I'd be looking at the Hudson River. So I guess west. Like that, like remembering, like that's a raw image I'll never forget in my head, is that first building, seeing that outward, and then like, yo, bro, what the fuck just happened? Did the Twin Towers just fall down? Like, I'll never forget that feeling, bro. Like, even I'm feeling the tightness in my face, or even the feeling of like being the only one from my family home, and remembering, yo, daddy had to go down there that day. Mommy's in the city, Betty's in the city, Lorenzo didn't come home from work last night. He probably stayed out at somebody's house, not having any information, and then the teachers, to know, no adults know what to tell us. We're only hearing rumors. They attacked the Pentagon. They nuked Israel. Fucking they nuking the Middle East. We had no idea. Yeah. The scariest part and the most vivid part, when the F-16s were up. Once the F-16s got, we just kept hearing every few minutes.
That shit was like a war zone.
Yo,
bro.
Once that happened, that was when that's one of the that's scary. Like, that was when it was like,
it's
yo.
like right here. Like we lived right here. So it was just like right over us right now, you'd see the fucking and the fucking black smoke. Once that shit took over this neighborhood, yo, that shit didn't leave for a few days.
Nah, it didn't really come this way. Like, we actually got spared, I'll say, from the smoke cloud, because eventually the wind started pushing it more that way, but it was blowing. Like, it was like, if the wind hadn't shifted, it would have came this way. Had the wind not have shifted, that everyone got sick from, cloud would have been over us. That was probably the saving grace for us that day. But just, I remember that's something I remember vividly. Like, the way my dad tells me he remembers the day, you know, Martin Luther King got shot the day Malcolm X got shot the day, you know, Bobby Kennedy got shot the day JFK. When my dad tells me those things, you know, it's like, wow.
For me, it was like I don't have a visual memory of being like, okay, I know the Twin Towers fell because I was so young. But I think a lot of it that happened was like when I was going through elementary school and middle school and high school, like I started to feel this attitude in America start to shift. There was a lot of fear, you know, like George Bush got elected, and then we had the war, and then domestically we feel all of these consequences, and then that turns into the moment where I'm in high school and Osama bin Laden is killed, and like I don't like remember exactly what happened, but I felt all of these consequences growing up. And then when I finally like, go to school in Washington D.C. and then end up living in New York, it's something that like I can't escape from, but I know it happened.
I don't think anybody's gonna be able to escape
no one in this
this
country
shit.
will ever be able to escape what happened those years.
What version of it they get in the schools, the curriculum is altered by the people in power. So whatever version you probably learned in school about what happened is probably not exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But at least you're old enough to know that now. So
Osama bin Laden,
all the
19
information is out
guys,
there.
4 planes.
Like that shit was.
I mean, it's
a joke.
It was very tough to digest for me for a long time, bro. For me to accept other views on things, especially that, man. And I won't get into it all here, but how long it took for me to accept my view to change, bro. I mean, you look at just the science behind the towers dropping. There are too many questions, man. And now I'll say what bothers me more about 9/11 and even always bothered me from the jump were the people who were down there, the firefighters, cops, Port Authority, who were working on that pile for those months, pulling out the dead body, the body parts, all the rubble, getting that cleaned up.
Yo, Mike,
who they started getting sick
Mike-
almost immediately.
Mike
Yeah.
was there.
My girlfriend, she has uncles, cousins who were working in the fire department. One of her cousins had to retire from the fire department young because he got sick from being down there.
Damn.
One of her uncles has to go in like 2 times a year to get like lung testing because he has like lung scarring from being down there. And even like with these bills where you have to have that firefighter, you need like fucking but I can't remember his name. The guy who used to do the one Trevor Noah replaced, John Stewart, has to go down to fucking Steve Buscemi, has to go in front of Congress for you to treat these guys right, to give them like a just due, to give them like health insurance, bro.
Yeah.
Like after this happened, and after the head of the EPA lied, and all the people who lived down there who got sick, who deal with everything, who lived in that area, who you'll see these ads if
And
you
the-
lived
the
south
emo-
of this area after 9/11.
The emotional stress too.
Like
The thing that was weird for me is like when I finally got older, I started to meet, like I became friends with a lot of people, and then after the fact it'd be like, yeah, my dad died in 9/11. Like I have 2 friends whose dad died in 9/11, like a friend whose like uncle died, a friend whose dad was supposed to be at a meeting in the tower. Like everybody knows somebody who was apparently supposed to be there. Like Michael Jackson apparently had a meeting in the Twin Towers, but
he had a
didn't
meeting
go,
in the
like-
Twin Towers.
he was supposed to be on he was supposed to be on one of the flights that day out of
One of the planes that got.
one of the planes out of Boston, I believe, that hit one of the towers he was supposed to be on.
Yeah.
Can we just switch the topic?
Yeah, we did.
Because
I
this
mean,
just really got depressing.
I mean, but it was.
It's a good topic to talk about,
I mean,
though.
but it's real life because we're talking about it from my perspective. But we have someone who's, I mean, from a much younger generation of it, who's still like, even hearing your perspective on it is much different than what I was expecting to hear from this. So I mean, I'll get that's why we went there. But he doesn't like these type of topics. They get him kind of sad.
Let's bring it up. Let's bring it up.
He gets a little sad. I can see the sadness in his eyes.
See it in
But
your
it
eyes.
was
puppy
just,
dog face.
I know. I mean, I know how you feel, but for me, I have no issue discussing real life topics like this, man.
just-
But I mean,
It's too early.
Yeah, I'll tell you this though, you're an outlier from your generation. I'm not gonna lump you in with the rest of your generation because
Salute.
I don't think anyone, only a handful of people. There's a young man I do know around your age who I used to work with, who I told you met him when the time he was up in my girl's crib. I told you, this is a kid I told you about who's opened a few businesses, and this kid, he'll try anything. Like he's tried consulting, and he sees like, trial. He's a big trial and error guy. He studies, he reads a lot. And I told him, like, I have confidence that at some point I'm going to read about you as a fucking multimillionaire from something you do. Like, the kid he has a smart business mind. He just has a sharp mind, period. And like I told him, your mind is sharp like his. I consider people like you two outliers from your generation.
So
Thank
he's
you.
an honorary millennial.
I would honestly say it's because my parents are from Africa, so I think that made me very different. I think that like a lot of the people who have experiences that are not completely American, like, it just makes us see the world in a very different way.
I think I'll say like my buddy T. He was born in Sudan. He actually like lived in like that type of like he almost say poverty, but like that, like the difference between coming from there to here. And he told me like when he got here, like even like how it blew his mind, the difference in the quality of life when he came to America.
Yeah.
And like he he has a different perspective on life. Like he's a hard worker. He's worked as hard. Like he's one of the hardest working people I've known since I've met him.
Yeah.
Like, and even I'll say, like I feel like when like black Africans come from Africa, they see black Americans, and it's like you guys come here and like for the American dream, and it's like, yo, you like make the most of every opportunity.
Yeah.
Every opportunity, no matter what it is. Even like, let's think of some of the African kids we went to school with. Like they were some brightest, sharpest, like best knowledgeable kids in our entire class that we both graduated with, and like
Honors.
Like both
Honors.
of them, both our valedictorians.
They did not
like
fuck around.
like stepbrother and stepsister.
They did not fuck around. I'll tell you that
And
much.
like, yo, like it was just like seeing,
the
because it was like, yo, your
people here
parents
were
came
just so
here to give you that
complacent.
opportunity at life, and like you guys were like, and sometimes black Americans, I mean, you hear a lot of black Americans, even our elders explain to us like, yo, you guys don't know like what you came from, how hard it was to get here, and how sometimes they look at where we are, how we haven't progressed to where you would think we would after what you look at, like the people through the civil rights era, the Jim Crow, what the stuff they gave up for us to where we are. And I mean, we just had Barack Obama in office. We did 8 years ago. I mean, not even 8 years ago. But he just left office 4 years ago, and still no. Like it's a different thing for Black Americans, Black Africans. I know that as a Black American, and you guys just come here with a work ethic that, and just a thought in your head that Black Americans don't have. Black Americans have the idea that I don't want to say this because I'm going to offend a lot of people, but some have the idea that they're still owed something. Which kind of feel the U.S. government does kind of owe something, but we also owe it to ourselves to do it on our own as much as we could, even though it's not the same. It's not as easy.
Yeah, I completely hear that. I mean, I just think back to like when my parents like first got here, and just like how difficult it was for them. And I feel like if there's like anything that I owe to anybody, it's like to them to like make good on their dream that they had when they got here in the 80s, to like you make something and really achieve like what this country has its potential. But some of the stories are funny. Like when my uncle first got here, because he came after them, he saw a squirrel for the first time. He didn't know what it was. So a lot of people think that they have squirrels in Africa, but like they don't even have that.
No.
Like squirrels in Africa?
No, they don't. My dad says it's because all of the small creatures like that were hunted to extinction.
Oh,
That's how you know it's a whole different world, bro.
Oh yeah.
I remember one of my friends that worked at the real estate office with me. She was from California, born in LA, and we were about to get hit with a blizzard winter. She had never seen snow before. And like she's like, yo, it's like there's a blizzard warning. What does that mean? Like I was like,
happened to my mom once.
I told her, I was like, yo, are you being serious with me? She's like, yeah. I was like, yo, like it's gonna snow in New York. I thought it was gonna be really pretty when it first happens. It's gonna be really pretty. Like won't be a lot of cars on the road. You're gonna be like, oh my god, it looks so nice. About 24 hours, it's gonna like melt, refreeze. It's gonna be all white. It's gonna be like gray, black, brownish, weird, fucked up color from the salt, the tires, and everything on the road. I was like, at first it's gonna be really nice. You're gonna want to go play in it, and then gonna get icy. Stuff gonna start refreezing. People gonna do half-ass jobs shoveling their fucking sidewalks in front of the
giving a
cribs.
whole goddamn breakdown.
And
we would fly my family from Puerto Rico to New York just so that they can see snow, because they'd never seen snow in their lives.
Did your families do that thing where when it was like thundering outside, you weren't allowed to use the water?
yo,
I never heard that.
yo, my mom, a little while when we were younger, my mom was on that until she learned that it was like not like that.
What is
But
it like?
yo,
You think
it was like
lightning is going to
you could
strike the water?
You get electrocuted through it.
Yeah. Because
I never heard that.
There's some
before.
places where they'll tell you, like in the south,
That's
like
fucking
why
crazy,
houses have lightning rods, places that are more susceptible to lightning, so that attracts it, not anything in the house, and it'll ground it, take
Lightning
it to the
rod.
ground. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. But we did for a little while. I remember that for a little while when we were younger. Like started, like I remember, like shit, it's about to rain. Let me go take a shower now. Let me do this now. I fucking won't be able to. You got to turn the water off, man. Shit.
Yeah, that's how it was.
I'm not gonna lie. Even like if I go away somewhere and we're like in the woods to where it is thunder, and I'm like, fuck, man, is it safe for me to take a shower? This is as a fucking adult. I'm like,
You always got that fear in you.
I still got that in the back of my head.
So being that being that you live in Bushwick now,
Yeah.
and Tekashi's out, I think it's a good segue to talk about some hip hop artists,
Yeah.
if you could call that hip hop. What are your thoughts on Tekashi, and just give us your top 3 MCs?
Top 3 MCs. Well, my thoughts on Tekashi, I think that whole situation is really fascinating because it's like, I think it shows that our generation is really fascinated in a story, no matter what the consequences are, no matter if it's true or false. Because if you look at Tekashi 6ix9ine, it's like all the things he's done are like really horrible, but he got famous because he was just courting attention at any cost. Like, it's kind of that thing. There's this dude on YouTube. His name is Hello Yassine, and he just analyzes all of the rappers through the 48 laws of power. And the one that Tekashi 6ix9ine does is he courts attention at any cost, no matter if it even like risks his life, gets him kidnapped, gets his baby mama put in danger, alienates him from the game of hip hop. And that's like, we see that in politics, like Donald Trump. We see that in like sports at times. So I think he's just a commentary, an example of like what's going on in our culture. But top MCs, I would say this is not a popular opinion, but Logic is in my top 5 MCs.
I haven't heard much of Logic, but when I have heard him, he's man. You know who I'd say right now?
Joe Budden.
He's not terrible. He's not terrible.
Oh shit.
You know what it is for Logic. What put him onto the scene, and a lot of people make fun of him for, was he did the 1-800, the suicide hotline song.
Yeah.
And that's what put him on, blew him up. A lot of people knew him before that, but to put him on to America, that's what put him on. And a lot of people like it.
But that's like in hip hop, it's for some reason it's corny to talk about mental health. But like I think that Logic, like I did in a review on his last album, he retired from the game. He was
I saw that.
He was like pushed out of the game because they trolled him so hard. But like
he was like calling out Joe Budden and a couple other people or some shit like that. Well,
like I didn't. I like but from this like guy who like I actually like listen to his music. I don't listen to it a lot. I won't say I have anything downloaded from him, but I do hear him. He always sounds dope. Joyner Lucas.
Yeah, he's tough.
He like that. You can spit.
That Will shit.
Yeah,
I didn't hear the remix with Will Smith. I heard his actual the Will one. I didn't hear the Will Smith one. But like
the concept behind the video was fucking genius.
It was crazy.
It's like he's killed that video.
But like
I'm not a fan, but he bodied that video.
Yeah, but then it's like if you look at everything that like Will Smith actually did, like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like that was like one of the first examples of seeing like an affluent African American family. Like that was the first time people knew that like a black man could be a judge, or that you could have like a Valley girl that's a black girl, or like all those things.
That was actually I'll say that was like a 90s version of the Cosby Show. Because the Cosby Show is really like, and they said, like Chappelle said it, like we kept saying, but he ended it, but he's a raper. When he kept bringing up the Bill Cosby, but he's a raper jokes, and that stand up.
He's a raper.
And he's like, yo,
Jesus
like he's
Christ.
the first, like he brought in psychologists. He didn't want any negative portrayals of black people on the Cosby Show. Everything he did and to portray a black family that had never been seen on TV at that time. Yeah. All you had, was the, we're talking about Willis's, the moving on ups in the world, the Samson, the Sanford and Sons. Yeah. So like he said, he did that, and then I'll say, damn it, you just said it, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but then you also eventually had on. There was some shows in the '90s, like we got Family Matters.
Oh yeah.
Like there was shows in the '90s, like Rock. Mm-hmm. People don't remember Rock, man. Like that was a deep show in the '90s for people to deal with, like for everything going on. Living single,
even like
to show successful
Proud
black
family. You watch the Proud Family?
I didn't really watch it. My little cousins watched it. They were younger than me. They watched a lot of Disney Channel stuff. Like That's So Raven, showing these shows that show prominent stuff for black people that you just like. I can honestly say I couldn't say I don't. I'm gonna say I don't know what it would be right now. On maybe I'll say Blackish would be the best thing for black people right now as a positive portrayal of black people and modern TV. Yeah, that probably.
I can't even say I've ever watched an episode of that.
I've watched a couple.
Episode of that shit.
Yo, I've watched a couple. Anthony Anderson is first off. I've bumped him a few times doing security. Good dude, nice, like an actual nice person to meet. But like he's great on that show.
Talking about Anthony
Anderson?
Anderson?
Anthony Anderson, and Tracy Ellis Ross like is a phenomenal actress, and I think that they just do good on that show together. And even seeing how many spinoffs they had from that, they went from that to they have Grownish. Where the older daughter went to college, now showing like a young black woman in a college setting, and
they got Mixed
trying to grow up, and then Mixed-ish, which is the prequel for how she came over with her family, and they were biracial from a fucking commune, and then they just come to the USA in the '80s, and it's like finding out life. Yeah, what I'm saying. So like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So you said Logic.
Yeah.
You still owe us 2 more.
All right, so I said Logic was in my top 5, but I don't put rappers in like the 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'll say my top 5. I think Drake is in there. He's definitely complex. We can talk about him in a second. Honestly, it's a lot of the same people who have been doing it for a decade. You know, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. Fit one more in there. I don't know if I should say Kanye West. I don't know if I should say Jay-Z. That's a hard question. That's a hard question because this next generation is getting kind of crazy.
Neither one of those two that you just said were bad answers. Because I tell everyone I don't agree with anything he's done and said recently, but I'm still a huge Kanye stan. I don't say fan, I say stan.
Yeah.
And music fans know what a stan is, and I can admit I'm a Kanye West stan.
Yeah.
I've heard everything he's ever made.
Yeah.
All his solo shit ever. And he's like he knows, everyone knows he's my favorite musical artist of ever.
He's been saying the same thing for a long time. Like Jesus Walks. Like he's like
you listen to that, man. Yeah. You listen to like even Jesus Walks on the intro song to Late Registration. Heard him say with Adam Levine when he throws out the Allahu Akbar and throwing some hot cars, things you see in these dreams and shot cars. Like you listen to Kanye West, he's always had a little bit of spiritual shit in his raps.
He was like talking about like, if I talk about God, my record won't get played. Like made a whole album about Jesus.
Yeah, but now he's fucking 3 billion in. He could do whatever the hell he wants now.
Like even people that tried to shit on Jesus is King. I'm like, I don't know what a Kanye West gospel album sound like, but he really did try gospel with the life of Pablo. Yeah. Like there were a lot of like gospel samples, a lot of like you had the choir samples in the background. He like still did some of his old Chipmunk shit on.
You see videos of him on the plane with the whole choir. Like they travel together. Like it's an actual thing. He's not just using the church, the gospel market to try to come up. He's actually believing this shit.
But he believes like in the gospel for him. Like how people say the gospel like they say that whatever.
Yeah. But that's the thing, because it's like Kanye West, to be honest, is the first rapper that's like been mainstream Christian, but he's also the first rapper that's been like super duper mainstream, like about mental health. And so I think that like looking at him and like everything that he's going through, it kind of shows us why we have to embrace rappers like Logic who talk about mental health, because the consequences, like artists like Kanye West who don't get this. So if Kanye West had his diagnosis and he'd had the support that he needed years ago, I think we'd be seeing a very different individual.
I mean, he always had these, I tell people too, he always had these outbursts. Always from when he first came up. Like there was the whole thing at the EMAs when he stormed off of award shows.
Attacking the fucking photographer at the airport.
Like, before all that, he had his moments. But I think everyone draws back to, man, like losing his mom was a big thing for him, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like seeing like how he was different live. When he did Hey Mama, even a year and some change later at the Grammys, like the way he did that shit live, and even still live, year and a half later, he still can't handle it. Like to do like the performance for his mom. Like, and it was just like that. Like you hearing his songs, he talks about her, and even how he's come back. Like even how he's talked about her so many times. Like how many times on records has he talked about the thing about suicide after on what was it fucking the clip when he was like suicide when my mama passed shit, what kind of talk is that? Like he said it so many times, like he thought about killing himself after it, like I thought about killing you today. That
was my favorite joint off of that was that the Ye album? What do you guys think about people like Harry Mack that just go into radio studios on the streets with a little beat in his hand and he just starts freestyling off of everything that he sees?
I don't know who Harry Mack is, honestly.
Is that the dude?
The white boy.
I only saw that 60-second clip of him. I saw that it's actually a longer 7-minute video. I didn't watch it. I'm not gonna lie. But I saw him do that. That was pretty cool. That was pretty dope when he was like rapping to the kid. He's like, and then like the kid. He's adding, he's freestyling, like the kid, like being amazed at what he's saying, like kid, like so dope. You don't know what to say. Like this kid sitting there, like rapping the kid's amazement into his freestyle and making the kid more amazed. The kid's like,
yeah.
Like it's one of those things. I feel like freestyle, the word freestyling became lost because Now you talk about these freestyle battles, but everything is written.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like that's
So
why I
it's just
can't
about
really
not fucking up. That's really what it's about.
like if you go back a generation, you look at like Jay-Z, like some of his like craziest bars were like freestyles. He did like a public service announcement like, my name is Hov, H to the OV. That was all freestyle. And then you look at like Drake, and then you look at the credits on his Spotify, and there are at least 5 writers on a song.
There's, I
It's
mean,
like
even he said it, like he said, on the level, fuck track was that on So Far Gone, when he did the goddamn the Say You Will beat, when he was talking about lost some of the hottest verses down in Cabo, so if you find a blackbird with a sky scroll, send that motherfucker to the hottest rapper that you know.
that's crazy that you remember that.
I love that. Like he's another, I won't say a stan, but when he was good, like I fucked with Drake. I still fuck with Drake now, but I think he's like too mainstream. Like
Yeah, he's
we
too
have
famous.
a friend who loves Drake everything, but like the new shit I've heard from him doesn't blow me away.
But
like
then
the
it's
new
like-
shit from like the
He's
shit
not
he
as
did with
hungry.
Khaled wasn't hot.
He's not as hungry no more.
There's something about like being an artist, and like you could hear that like Drake had this like attachment to like writing bars and like going in and like coming from his BlackBerry and spitting the bars. But then, you know, there was a bar where he was like, I could use a writer just to even out my flows. You probably remember that.
Yeah.
And then like the whole Quentin Miller thing, and then like even when he's like rapping in Arabic and like rapping in French, you're like, okay, like that's definitely not you.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just once you reach that level of success, you can't write all your shit. Especially when it's not like back in the day where, you know, every 3 or 4 years a band will put out a full album and then tour maybe 2 years with the album and all that shit, and then take 2 years off, do it all over again. Now it's a singles game. So every time you put out a track, they're like, all right, when's the next track coming out?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to just have work after work after work, and after a while, it's like you can't write all that shit. All your songs are gonna start sounding the same.
Yeah,
So you
that's
bring in
why-
different people, and that's it.
That's why I like the lo-fi wave as a producer, because like as a producer, like you can just put out these different beats that have so many different ideas. You don't have to put out an album, and people will bump lo-fi like bubblegum, you know?
Shit.
So it's a good place to be.
Like this past Saturday, we did a pay-per-view show in the back, and I premiered a new track that I had wrote. And I wrote the track a couple days earlier, and since the day that I wrote that track, my brother wrote about 6 new tracks, and he's just sending me reference recordings and the lyrics and everything, and he's just like, here. And all this stuff is stuff that we're gonna try to put out under the label. And I'm just like, all right, so you already know what your job is. Now you just the writer, put together the flows, put together the reference, so that when we actually bring in an artist, because I'm not gonna do all the songs. When we bring in the right artist to for the right song, we got a pop song, bring in a pop artist. Then we put that out. Then when you see the credits on Spotify, you'll see everybody gets their piece and all that shit.
Yeah, man.
But now it's just about getting the product out there. A lot of people don't even give a fuck that you didn't write it.
Yeah, man.
They just want you to sing it.
Exactly. It's crazy. It's crazy. But the music industry, I think that even though the music industry is changing and it's frustrating, I think that there's definitely a lot of opportunity. There's opportunity for you guys, like when you're writing or like just producing or getting people involved. Like it's no longer, you can't do this solo thing where you're just like a Kanye West making 5 beats a day for 3 summers and hoping that somebody finds you. Like now you have to go and get it.
Yeah, now you have to like really like I can't think of anybody that's like out there now who's just been discovered. Like now, like you have to put yourself out there, like to hit it, man. And, like that's the thing people don't understand too, man. Like even when people have asked us for podcasting advice, you know, people have asked me, and I've been an open book to them. I've given them every single piece of advice from everything we've ever went through, and people still don't follow through. Like I let them pick my brain on everything they need to know regarding anything in this format, because we didn't learn a lot. For this was all a learning experience for every like step of doing this over the years with us. So anytime anybody asks us something, I'll be like, yo, if I don't know, I'll put you in touch with him.
Yeah.
So he'll let you know.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And still like
we
people,
didn't have like a mentor.
Yeah.
We didn't have somebody that was like, yo, this is what you need to do and this is how you need to do it.
Yeah.
We just started doing shit and failing publicly.
I like you guys' show a lot though. That's the thing, because I think that like what I like about Bushwick is there are just like so many people like yourselves, like Danny, like John Block, like all these people who I consider like creative geniuses. And there's no book, like you can't find like how do we make this happen. Like you guys have been like,
that's what I tell people too when they tell us, you know how many people have told me, yo, you need to go to school to do that, to get it. For people to look at you, you need a degree. Like, why do I need a degree to sit in
Why
front of
do
a
we need a
microphone?
Like, what?
you
Like,
need
what-
a degree
like,
from
what
the
my-
streets,
That's
you
it.
know, School
Like,
of Hard
that's it, man.
Knocks.
like people like who say that, it's like, yo, I get what people mean with it, and it's like this isn't a thing you get from school.
Yeah.
Like you don't get media training. Like you can learn how to work everything, the production side, engineering side, And that's what a lot of people learn. Journalism school, media school. That's what
Technical shit.
Yeah, but this is just you either have it or you don't. And I think
but
we
this-
have it
this
when
is
we're
just-
together. Like what we've tried to do is with other people. It's not the same
It's not
energy,
the
not the
same.
same feel. Like it's just not the same.
Because you can't teach 20 years plus of friendship.
Of this type of banter, it's this easy.
I don't have to think. When I'm on stage with him, we don't think. We just talk.
Like there's been so many times, like if you listen to the podcast, you could tell like there was one when my boss called me in the middle of one and I like sent it to voicemail and like right after hit me again. I'm like, shit, I gotta take this call because I told him something happened at work that day. I'm like, he's calling me about this. Like, yo, I gotta step off. Yo, went into the bathroom, answered it. He kept it rolling. He was like, came right back. You wouldn't know. And I was like, but you heard me say it. Like, there'll be times while we're recording, one of us will take a bathroom break and the other one will just keep going for that minute while the answer thing come back. And the only reason you've actually noticed recently when on air is because we've left the door cracked and you can hear
You
us.
hear the toilet flushing.
Or you hear a powerful stream because we've been drinking a lot of beer. You hear the fire hose.
But I wish I could talk with you guys forever. You guys have an amazing show, and thank you so much for having me. And I can't wait to keep on working with you guys and hearing more of what you do.
Yeah, man. We thank you for coming on, man. Because I know you got to get out of here. You can't ride the whole one with us here, man.
I'll be back. I'll be back. I know
we're
to find
we're
y'all.
gonna get you back on here again, brother. But thank you for coming on, bro. It was amazing.
Rose.
Anytime, bro.
We'll talk to you soon, brother.
Yes, sir. And that was Rahman Mama here with us.
was
Good
good.
Morning Bushwick live in studio. That was a great interview.
that was a wham,
for
bam,
someone in
boom.
that wham bam boom. For someone in his age group, honestly,
He's impressive.
He's impressive to be in that age range because it takes a lot for kids that age. And I hate saying kids that age, but from where he put himself, I'm about 8 to 10 years older than him. So
He's like, he could qualify for the TikTok generation, age-wise.
yeah,
But he's more of a Silicon Valley brain. You could tell. He's a thinker.
yeah, he's a thinker. He's
an intellectual.
He's a critical thinker. That's something that I think a lot of people don't understand. Even when we talk about critical thinking, and you could tell he understands what critical thinking was. His parents, like you could tell, like critical thinking comes from not just school, not teachers who had influence from you, but like home influence, bro. Like to think shit through, like not just follow it, not just read a book and that's it, not just read a paper, to actually think.
I like what he said about Tekashi. He said that's just a representation of where my generation is thinking
And
wise.
then, but even he said my generation. Then he even said I think society as a whole, because how many people forget the Rick Ross situation, man. We let it's still Rick Ross the boss, but we forgot that's Rick Ross. That's Officer Ricky.
Rick Ross is still in heat with a lot of organizations because all he's doing is just ripping. He's ripping everybody, making songs as though he's part of the organization when he's really not, and they pressing him about it. I think that's why now he's trying to end that beef with 50. Because he knows that 50's on 50's like the one person that's still actively going after him. Because he just did the Lil Wayne podcast and he was talking shit about
I saw people saying something about it.
what was it about Meek Mill? He said you signed to a officer and your manager's a snitch. It's like, so 50's the only one that still has that power.
And people,
no pun intended.
People
over
keep
people.
saying shit like about 50. He's on paperwork, but 50 don't care if he has an order of protection against someone. If that was in his best interest after what happened to him, if I get shot 9 times and I still have issues with someone, I think the best issue, nigga, if I'm not gonna walk around with a gun all the time or someone with a gun, and security's not 50's not usually with security that often.
He's always by himself.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna get an order of protection. You know what I'm saying?
Even that dude that ran up on 50 again.
The same dude.
Same dude. 50 just started grabbing chairs and tables and throwing them shits hard as hell, bro.
End of the day, he's still from Southside Jamaica, Queens.
It's like, don't fuck with people like that, bro. That's a whole other person.
That's a whole different animal, man. Like people, that hood side still exists for people. It's like me. It's like, hey, man, don't poke the bear. Like you don't want to see the Brooklyn come out.
Play stupid games,
Win
win
stupid.
stupid prizes.
I love that. I love that line.
You fuck with the bull,
Get the horn.
you get the horns.
That's simple.
We're the king of one-liners over here.
It's that simple.
We want to remind everybody before we close out the show, we got about 5 minutes left. The initiative here at 30 Days to Rock is to raise funds of course, to keep this fantastic studio in Bushwick open, some economic relief, if you will, because the government didn't step up and help this place.
The government is refusing to. We can't get any type of bipartisanship. It's still along party lines. And I mean, a lot of places, a lot of citizens, man, a lot of hardworking Americans are suffering. People who wouldn't be in this situation had things going normally, had the situation been handled better from the jump. A lot of Americans wouldn't be in this situation. I know people are still like it's a disease that kills less than 1% of people, 2%. It doesn't have a high death rate. That kind of annoys me when people bring that up. And it's like I think we realize we're past that. It's not. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's a death rate. It's the way it spreads, and I don't think they fully understand how it spreads and what the full effects of it are. Because people are still having other symptoms and other lingering symptoms after the fact. You know, and then like now this could be a lingering symptom after. Now this could, that could.
But the list of symptoms,
new shit comes up.
It covers almost every goddamn common illness. So anything you get right now could be possibly labeled COVID.
It's wild.
So it's a tricky fucking world, bro.
It's wild, man. And I mean, and people still, I mean, it's crazy. Like with the people still like with the not wanting to wash their hands, not wanting to do, you know, not wanting to wear a mask. You know, it's not serious. It's not real. It's a hoax. You know, even, you know what? You see the picture of the school in Georgia that reopened last week, and they had all those kids in the hallway.
Yeah, nobody was wearing
nobody with masks. They said from that school already, like 6 or 7 students tested, a couple teachers, and they had to close the school coming for Monday and Tuesday this week to sanitize, and they're going to send the kids back in to
this
clean
shit
everything.
It's not going to work.
It's not.
It's not going to work.
Like even I see de Blasio and Cuomo wanted to try. I mean, I think they know parents were tapped. They need kids in school. I think they tried, but even still with the some in this way, so you could opt out of it. You know, everybody doesn't have to be in class every day. Some are doing, like I saw somebody on Facebook say one of her daughters has school only 1 day a week. The other one has school 3 days. You know, I see some people saying that kids have 2 days, some have 3, some have 1. Like every kid has it. If you got kids going to different grades, everybody has a different plan. If you got kids in different schools, like, and I mean,
the kids are guinea pigs right now. They're guinea pigs. Because by the end of this year, whatever just happened or is going to continue happening going into September, it's going to be a shit show, bro. It's going to be a fucking shit show.
Like, even, like, you have parents out here, like, we were talking about, like, everybody was talking about it at my brother's party. Like, a lot of them said they opted their kids out of school. They're like, I'm not sending my kids back until it has a clearer picture. Until there's a clearer picture on this situation. Like, and then kids, man, are going to parrot whatever their parents say. So if their parents say it's a joke, I'm not wearing a mask. Kids, I'm not wearing a mask. My daddy, my mommy don't wear a mask. Why do I have to? It's not serious. I'm a kid, but now you're seeing kids getting sick and dying other places. So I hope parents are taking it more serious, man. And even, I mean, look at when they were saying all those kids in New York who said had it, and then they would have those other symptoms, and they were worried about if that would be something in all kids, and they said that just fell by the wayside. They ain't even say nothing else about that.
I'm just glad my daughter's still a baby.
I'm glad your daughter's safe. I'm glad my niece is safe. I'm glad my nephew's safe. I'm glad all my little cousins are safe. I'm glad everyone with kids that I know have been safe, man.
But that's a good segue into the fact that here at First Live Studios, very conscious of social distancing, whether it be during live productions, behind the scenes stuff. You guys see we're all about 6 feet apart.
You see how far apart we are when guests come in there.
And the backspace, of course, this is the place that you want to perform your music, play in front of the world, help keep this place open. Donate now at 30daystoRock.us.
Yes, donate now at 30daystoRock.us, because this is not, you know, just for us, man. This is for a lot of people, man. A lot of people hurt by this, like we said, man. The relief you thought you would get from Big Brother, from the government, didn't come to anyone. A lot of industries are hurting.
All hurting.
Service industry, restaurant service, hospitality industry in particular, and this falls into that category, man. So I mean, you love places like this. You love venues anywhere you went out to when things were normal. If you want these places to be back when life does go back to what normal will be, whenever that is, we need help. Everyone needs help, man. When we know that it's hard for everyone because a lot of people are out of work, man. But if you can spare it, it's appreciated. And it helps everyone, not just us. It helps everyone across the board that's been involved with the 30 Days to Rock initiative here at at First Live Studios, and it's like I said, it wasn't just us. It's crew, performers,
Everybody.
everybody
Everybody
is a piece of the pie for everybody, man.
And before we head out and leave with the last clip, Ziara from Rise Up Brooklyn, we want to remind you guys that you can find everything Bud and Roach related at budandroach.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram at Bud and Roach.
We do the fucking,
Yerp.
Stop.